Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. So this is Paulo Rich, your Pinoy nurse here in Singapore. So for my today's content guys, someone had commented this and asking, it also just pop up in my mind like, why? I think I better do this content. So that person asked me, what are the reason why your Singapore Nursing Board application is rejected? So why your Singapore SNB application was rejected? What are the reasons? What are the possible reasons? Okay? So before that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe my channel. So disclaimer guys, disclaimer, okay? I'm not from Singapore Nursing Board. So all this information is based on what I observed, what I've experienced before, and also what I've heard from someone, and also I made the research. Of course, I made some research about this, okay? And also, this content is applicable for those enrolled nurse and registered nurse aspirant. I mean, like who wanted to become enrolled nurse and registered nurse in Singapore. Okay, so this will make you more understand why they reject it, why they reject your application. But first thing first is that you need to remember before you do this, before you apply your SNB application, make sure that you are licensed. You have license in your home country as a nurse, and also you have work experience. Okay, okay. Let's get it on. Okay, I made a list again regarding this content. Okay, first in my list. Okay, first in my list. What is first in my list? Gap experience. Gap experience. So what is the good example? What is the good example about this gap experience? Gap experience means that, example, you managed to obtain you become a licensed nurse in your home country year 2010. Then you didn't practice your nursing and you decided to do nursing after 2012. Then yes, then you realize, okay, I want to go Singapore. So from 2010 and 2012, that is considered a gap experience. And also another example, yes, after you graduate your nursing in 2010, then you immediately uh, work in hospital. Then you realize working in hospital is very tiring. Then you stop for 1 year. Then you realize again, okay, I miss being a nurse. Then from 2012 and 2000, example, you rejoin again nursing in 2019. So 2012 and 2013, that is the gap experience. So usually, Singapore Nursing Board will ask the reason why you have this gap experience. You need to have explanation. What did you do for that specific year? Like example from 2012 and 13, or from what I mentioned earlier from 2010 to 2012. What did you do? So usually, the advice you need to tell like either you are continuing your study, you're doing some volunteering. It should be related in nursing. That's what I understand. So you need to have an explanation. You need to have an explanation. And if you don't explain properly, I guess, then that's the reason why they will reject it. Like for my case. Okay. So for my case, what happened when it's like I have a 3 months gap. So that 3 months gap, the HR of my previous company explained that I am trying to find a job overseas. So that's the reason why I have a 3 months gap. So I think that's it. I hope you understand the first explanation regarding this gap experience. So you need to have a good explanation why you have this gap experience. And I think it's better to be honest. I'm not sure, but of course you cannot say that you did this, but actually you didn't, right? Okay, that is first in my list. First in my list. Okay. Second in my list is your documents. Okay, regarding your credential or documents. Okay, as you all know, your school and your nursing board in your home country, they need to submit your credential to Singapore Nursing Board. Okay? And sometimes they will put there, it should be English. It should be translated in English, and they will check it thoroughly. Singapore Nursing Board will check it thoroughly, and they will make sure also that your school is existing, of course. And if, example, your school has the license to operate for nursing school, so they will check it thoroughly. So if they saw some discrepancy about this, then of course they will reject your application. And what else about these documents and credential? Okay, for my case, what I've experienced before, because yeah, I do have experience in Philippines before. It's like 6 months, I guess, or 7 months experience. But the thing is, what happened? So the work experience certificate that I've submitted in Singapore Nursing Board is not detailed. So end up they reject that. They ask me to redo it again. So I did ask my previous employer in Philippines that make sure that you put how many bed capacity and which ward I'm working and specific date when did I join and when did I resign, something like this. Then after that, after I did the resubmission, then yes, they approved my application. That one is when I am about to take enrolled nurse post. Okay, so I think that is more about regarding the documents and credential, and also make sure that your school and your nursing board will be the one who going to submit to SNB. You're not allowed to submit your own credential to SNB. It's like a school to school, school to SNB, or nursing board of your home country to SNB. So they will just liaise. But I'm not sure if you have agency, if they're allowed to be in the middle. It's something like they will settle on their own. I'm not really sure about this. Okay. So I hope you understand regarding the documents and credential. That is what I can share. Next, okay. Third in my list is, okay, if you are a community nurse in your home country, as far as I know, they won't let you become an EN and registered nurse, because here they prefer you to have a hospital experience, and also they will check how many bed capacity is that hospital. So they will check that. So if the bed capacity is less, sometimes they will reject it, and either you will get EN enrolled nurse post, or they will just let you become nursing aid or HCA. Okay, they will check that. They will check the bed capacity of your hospital you're working in your home country. Okay, remember that. As far as I know, really, they don't let. I mean, if you practice community nursing in your home country, they won't accept it, because you will be working in hospital, so you will not be in the community. And usually, community nurse here in Singapore, they prefer locals. Okay, because you're dealing with the community, you need to speak their own language. So I haven't seen it. I haven't. I mean, I don't know anyone that doing a community nursing that is foreigner. Either they are permanent residents, or local, of course, or maybe some Malaysian who can speak their own dialect. So they prefer someone who can speak their own dialect. So yes, remember that you shouldn't have a community nursing experience. Okay, for this reason, by the way, if you think this is wrong, you just comment down below. But that's what I observed. I don't see any community nurse, a foreign community nurse here in Singapore. Okay, next, hospital experience. Yeah, I think I mentioned about this hospital experience. So usually you will need to have a good hospital experience, I guess. Like example, I mean, not a good hospital experience. Like example, like you need to have at least 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years hospital experience in home country before you can get that post. So SNB, Singapore Nursing Board, is the one who Singapore Nursing Board will be the one who will decide which post you are applicable. You are fit in. Yes. So that's with the hospital experience. Okay, next. I think I forgot already what number am I now. So I put here number 5. Okay, recently, I thought this one is like a falsy. I mean, it's not real. But I've heard from someone that if you are enrolled nurse here for 5 years and above, then you cannot be promoted as registered nurse. This is applicable for foreigners, okay? So they said SNB will reject it. So you need to be promoted very fast, right? It's sometime like within 5 years, you need to excel that your company will send you for registered nurse post examination, okay? But my point of view of this is I find it very unfair, because it doesn't, I mean, still depends on the company where you work it. I mean, if that company is trying to hold staff to be promoted, then and why you need to stop? I mean, you need to why they need to stop that person to be promoted as a registered nurse? I think it's quite difficult to explain. Okay, I think the good way to explain this is we don't have the. I mean, it always depends on the company if they want us to be promoted. And how about example, only after 6 years they decided to promote us, right? So I hope this policy will change regarding this 5 years EN. I mean, it's not on our side that we decide that we want to become RN. Sometimes they just don't want to promote us. That's my feeling. Like for my case, I need to fight for my promotion so that I will get it. Because if that example, your boss or your manager doesn't like you, then they won't promote you. So I hope this policy will change regarding the 5 years. And I hope you understand my explanation regarding this 5 years enrolled nurse experience. Okay. Okay, I think next in my list. Let's go to next in my list. Okay. Recently, there's a very courageous. Is it courageous? A very courageous person who messaged me, and yeah, I hope he's okay now. And if he's watching my blog, just don't think it like it's the end of your life. So someone has told me that he is positive with. I'm not sure if I need to. Okay, because I'm afraid also that later on I will get bash about this. Okay, remember that Singapore, or even here in SNB, or I mean the Ministry of Manpower in Singapore, if you are a foreigner and when they check your blood test, example, they did some medical background on you and they check that you have HIV, they won't let you work here in Singapore. Yep. If you are HIV positive, they won't let you work here in Singapore. They won't give you the work visa to work here in Singapore. So I think that is one of their rule, which is I hope that it will be revised. And yeah, this person told me that he is HIV positive. So and he didn't I think he didn't get I'm sure that he will not get it because that is one of the rule here in Singapore. You shouldn't have HIV, or sometimes even the tuberculosis spot. They will reject your medical. They will not give you a working visa. So, but if example, if you are permanent resident or Singaporean here in Singapore, of course, you are allowed to practice. But sad to say, if you're foreigner, no, you cannot practice here in Singapore if you have these illnesses. Okay, next. I think I've mentioned about this no experience. Yeah, of course, if you don't have experience, if you are fresh graduate as a nurse, then yeah, it's quite difficult for you to get the SNB to be approved. So yeah, they really requires you to have a work experience in your home country. Unless you just want to be you really need to have you need to work overseas, then you need to start as a HCA or nursing aide. Okay? So I hope this content, by the way, guys, it helps you more understand what's the reason why they reject your application. Oh, I forgot. Of course, I think the last the last reason. Of course, if your document is not real, false document. Of course, they can check that. That's the reason why it takes time for you to get the approval, because they need to check it if what you have submitted is real or not. Okay? Because they need to be strict about this because you are going to work in their country. So they want you to be like you have this credential that you can work here. Okay? So I hope that's it. Thank you for watching again my content. Okay, see you again. So I'll try to upload more regarding this nursing content here in Singapore. So you will have better understanding about this nursing career here in Singapore. Okay? Bye-bye. See you again.